Hi everyone. Excuse me. Welcome back to Resin Me Up. Guess what? I'm going to teach you guys how to amp up your project today. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm sure all of you probably have this product just laying around your house. At least I did. And I ran across them the other day, and I have been brainstorming how to incorporate this into a project. And I finally figured it out. And so this is what it is. How many of you have these laying around? It has to be the DVD-R. I have a whole ream of these from back in the day when I used to make home movies and all that kind of stuff. So, and you're probably wondering, what are you going to do with that? Well, if you flip it over, look at how that looks. Is that not cool? Well, it even gets cooler. So I'm going to show you what you can do with these. And first, we're going to tear it down. And so I'm going to show you what to do here, because DVD-Rs are actually two pieces. It's two pieces of plastic, and in between that plastic is where the goodies are. So first things first, we're going to deconstruct this. And what you're going to need for that is a DVD-R. You're going to need something pokey. I have these here thingies. You could use a weeding tool, anything like that. I just use these. I have 3 of them. I got them off of Temu a couple years ago. So what you're going to do first is you're going to heat this up. And gosh, you guys looking at my heat gun. My goodness, it's a mess. Okay, so I'm going to put it on high, and we're going to heat this thing up. You can use hot water too, but I'm just going to use my heat gun. And I got it on high, and we're just going to heat this thing up. We're going to heat it up really good. I'm going to flip it over. Keep flipping it over because you want it to be pretty hot. I mean, you don't want it so close that it's going to melt it, but you do want to get it pretty hot. And don't leave your gun in one spot, because that's where you could probably melt it. Okay, I'm going to flip it over one last time, and then it should be hot enough. Okay, you want to leave it flat. Yeah, it's pretty hot. And if you look on the side, you can see the 2 pieces of plastic that go together. You want to be very careful, and you want to take your pokey thing and you want to separate it. And you can start to see it coming away. And once you get a release, just like that, I didn't mean to go all the way in there. And then if you have your fingernails, you can go around it just like that. And release it. And then just pull that off, just like that, very carefully. Don't want to pull it off too fast because, and that's what's underneath it. Is that not cool? I think I pulled that off too fast because I got some pieces coming off. Now, while it's warm, if you want to cut it at this point, now's the time to do it because it's easiest at this point to cut it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I did from here. Is I just cut it in half. Because it's easiest at this point to cut it in half. So then, if you notice, well, I may have to do it again just to get that, because that comes right off of the top of that. Yep, there it is. And so that just peels right off the top of that. And now look what you have. You've got a refraction piece, and you can trim it, you know, however you want to do it. And I've already done this, but I wanted to show you guys what, if I can, and you could probably use your pen too, your pokey tool. You just have to be careful because you don't want to scratch it. Trying to get it lifted off of there. And you may have to heat it up again to get it off, but it should be lifted there, like that. So if you want it to come off all in one piece, just like that. Okay? This piece is just being difficult. And if it doesn't want to come off, you can leave it on the plastic if you want to, but I just cut off that center, just like that. Now I bet it comes off. Yep, because it's attached. And now you've got it off of the plastic. And now all your fun parts are right here. So let me show you what I did with mine. I put it in this little 5-inch tray, and you don't want to, you want to use something to pick it up with because otherwise it'll scratch. So I took my piece and I cut it in 2 pieces, and I'm going to put a piece in the center there. I'm going to measure what I need. So probably, and it cuts really nice. And then I'll just cut this corner off. Just like that. And so now I have a cool little thing for the inside of my coaster. Or it's not really a coaster, it's that. Now I can save this because I can use it again for something else. I just got done telling you not to do that, and then I go and do it. And so, isn't that cool? Look at all that. Oh, something got on it and I was blowing it. So I'm going to take these out of here because I'm going to put black resin in the base of it. And then I'll show you what we're going to do from that point. So I'm going to take all these out of here, lay them off to the side over here. And I'm going to mix up some resin. And then we'll be back. I'm not going to mix up very much because I don't need very much, because I just want that to be the base that we're going to lay these on top of. Okay, I'll be right back after I mix up my black resin and we'll move on. Okay, BRB. Okay, y'all, we're going to go ahead. I use the Let's Resin black. We're going to go ahead and pour some of this in here. I just mixed up 3 ounces. Just want to make sure I have enough. Okay, so we're going to let this get tacky, and then we'll be back. Okay? All right, see you in a little while. Bye. Okay, you all. Got them on there. That was a rough one because it obviously, left bubbles underneath there, but that's not going to make a difference for what I want to do next. So we are going to take our clear Let's Resin, and we're literally going to make bubbles on top of that so that we can see the effect of the rainbow on top of those. So, and we're just going to cure those as we go. Let me grab my flashlight. I don't know if we're going to use that. We'll use that at the end, but I'm just going to make some bubbles on top of these and see what kind of an effect we get. So we're just going to make some bubbles. Okay, guys, I think that looks good. Now I get to wipe this off again. And now I'm going to go mix up some resin. I'm going to let this sit over it for 3 minutes to cure everything. And then we'll pour some clear resin over the top of it. And we'll see what we get. Okay. All right. BRB. Okay. I am using the Bond Crafter 1-to-1. Got it all mixed up here. And I mixed up 6 ounces. I don't need that much, but I do have some other things over here that have been sitting and need to be filled from previous pours, so I might as well fill them up. Stick that in there. All right. Let me. Here we go. Oh, my bubbles are going to disappear because they're clear. Which I figured they probably would. But that's okay. Okay. Get out my heat gun here. Pop some bubbles. Grief. Okay. We will be back on demold. All my bubbles disappeared. But you can see them on the film, but that's okay. All right, we'll see you back on demold. Bye. Hey, y'all, welcome back. So we are ready to take this out of the mold, I think. I think if I were to do this again, I think I would probably try to keep the refraction piece together. You know what I'm saying? Instead of breaking it up, I would try to remove it all in one piece. But of course, our bubbles disappeared because they're clear. That was a duh. But you can see where they're at on there. You just can't see the bubbles. But boy, can you ever see that rainbow in there? Isn't that cool? That's really neat. There is a bubble in there, and it is on the actual film itself. Where did it go? Somewhere. I've seen it in there. Maybe, oh, it's over here somewhere. But yeah, that's what it looks like. It's really kind of cool. But like I said, I think if I were to do this again, I would, what did I do with those? Oh, they're over here. Yeah, here they are. I would try to get the whole thing off at one time and put it in there as a whole, you know. I mean, I don't know, it's just try to get the whole piece off and just leave it like that and stick it in there like that and see if I could do it as a whole instead of trying to cut it up and do it that way. But it does look really cool like that. I just wish that, I don't know what I was thinking, the bubbles were clear and then I'm pouring a clear coat on top of it. You know, that was kind of dumb. Trying to make bubbles in clear bubbles, that was really kind of silly. And I guess I could have probably tried to brush them with something, but then that would have taken away from the rainbow effect. But that's what it looks like. It's a cool idea. I mean, I'm going to play around with it some more and see what else I can do with it. And I could have probably cut some smaller pieces too to fill that in. But like I said, this just popped in my head and this was my idea today. So I just thought I'd give it a try. So yeah, so there it is, guys. That's my experiment with a DVD-R, the innards from a DVD-R. So what do you guys think? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, or let me know what you think about the experiment, and hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, love to have you. I'm always experimenting with something. Also, I wanted to let you guys know, I did finally get my memberships up and going. I have 2 levels. It took me a long time to convince myself to do this because I'm just not a big ask people, you know, to do things like that. But Andy talked me into it, and so did a couple of other people. And so basically what this is going to do is, you know, that will go back into my channel and help me purchase, you know, things that I need, you know, big things. And so that's the whole purpose of it. But I have 2 levels. Level 1, and you guys are going to get a kick out of this because me and my husband sat around Saturday afternoon and we talked about this, and I wanted to name my levels. And as most of you know, I'm in Kansas. And so what does Kansas represent? Well, it represents, you know, what is Kansas most known for, which is the Wizard of Oz. And so my level 1 is called oh my gosh, I knew I was going to forget this. But it's associated with the Wizard of Oz, and it's $3.99, and it is called Emerald City. And then my level 2 is $5.99, and it is called Ruby Slippers. So there are I didn't add anything to the perks that go along with these 2 levels. I just chose what they offer for those. So if you guys are interested and would like to support my channel, those are the 2 levels that I have available. And so, yeah, it took a great deal of convincing to get me to do these. Because like I said, I don't like to ask people for things, and I know a lot of my OGs will know this. And so it took me almost 2 years just to put an Amazon wish list up. So, but anyway, so it is up, it's going, it's active, and those are what my 2 levels are and what they are called. So if you're interested in helping my channel, that's another way you can support me. So yeah, so enough about that. But if like I said, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you, because I'm always doing something to try to create something interesting and something different. And, you know, today it was DVDs and the inside of a DVD, and this is what I come up with. So yeah. All right, everyone. Remember, stay curious, stay creative, and always stay positive. And we'll see you on the next video. Good night, everyone. Bye. Hey guys, it's me. I decided after I got off that I was going to take and put all the bubbles on the top. So I did that, and it is curing, but I want you guys to look at this. Is that not wicked? As soon as it gets done curing here, I'll show it to you what it looks like. But oh my goodness. Look at that. I just took all the bubbles. Sorry. I just took all the bubbles and I put them on top of the thing. Oh, wowza. That was the look that I was trying to get with them underneath. And wow, wow, wow. So now they're just on top. And is that not the coolest thing you have ever seen? That is so cool. So, so cool. Love, love, love it. So that is what I was trying to achieve with the bubbles underneath. And yeah. So there you have it. That's what I was trying to achieve. So there they are. Okay, I'm done. I got some pictures of it too, so I'll put them at the end of the video. All right, everyone. There it is. Very cool. Very, very cool. Very mesmerizing. Very cool. Okay. Good night, everyone. That is just so cool. Good night.